I better start recording.
Recording in progress. Forget about the intro. There was this nice graphic on the intro. I know you didn't see it. Tuesday, man, election day. A lot of interesting elections going on today, and we shall see how the machine spits it all out.
Midterms, is that what you're saying? Midterms?
No, we got the governor of Virginia, that race. You got the mayor of New York. You got the mayor of Boston, I think. I mean, there's some test cases going on here today.
All right. Well, good luck. I don't know who's up for what. I pretty much don't care about politicians anymore.
I quit them too.
Quit them.
Oh, man, and you shared this. Man, would I love to see the old unis back in the NBA. That's what I mean. First of all, if you're a long, gangly guy, those unis, I mean, they really set off the length of your legs.
Short shorts.
I want more guys in
Bring
the
back
NBA.
the 70s NBA when they were just smoking cigarettes on the floor. And
Dude, the best NBA story of all time is
there was no three-pointers.
When the chief, Robert Parrish, got arrested for with a pound of weed, and they tried to prosecute him with intent to distribute. And he was like, "Are you kidding me? This pound is my personal stash. I roll them and I smoke them."
Did he really say that?
Intent to distribute where? I thought you distribute to my lungs, yes, but nowhere else. All right, Matt, that one leads me right into this. The biggest headline, I think, in sports.
The chief was pretty mellow until somebody got in his grill, and then he would.
Oh yeah, you did not want to mess with those elbows, man. No chance. That leads us into the biggest news of the day, and not the ears on this young man.
Wing nuts, we call those.
Holy smoke! You know, my two oldest brothers.
We call those wing nuts. We call those wing nuts. Don't call them anything else.
Anyway, breaking the news here. Von Miller now going to the Rams. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I don't know what I think about it. It's really not important, but what does Aaron Rodgers think about it? because him and Tom Brady have to be going like, are you fucking serious?
Hey, did you see, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, did you see his Instagram yesterday with the or it might have been on Halloween, the call out? He was wearing blood on his face. And
yeah. Wasn't that a crypto call out?
Crypto.com. I'm long at the Cash App. I'm giving away $1 million in Bitcoin.
Well, Cash App's giving away $1 million. Let's be honest here. It's like Terry Bradshaw's taking Terry Bradshaw. Terry doesn't have any money left. All right.
But what I want to know is can you imagine if, Tyreek Hill was coming on the next commercial saying, "Hey, we're giving $1 million away of car of Avis. We're giving $1 million of Avis stock away today." Like, how is this legal? How is it legal?
Well, let me just tell you something. If you got the $1 million in Avis stock, you tripled it today, man. Well, let's get right into it. Let's talk Avis. We've talked, we talked these rental companies before, seemingly going bust, and then with no cars, it was a car payment. Remember in the summer when you tried to rent a car and the actual payment annualized would have been $150,000?
Yeah, I could have bought a Lambo that day and been equally sufficient. Yes.
Instead, you want to bring up Avis?
I can bring it up.
Bring it up because there's not a lot to say about it except what the fuck.
Well, they had earnings and there's no cars to rent, and the earnings were better than expected. So, and because everybody was short into the earnings, and this is why
I saw that, Matt. 28. Listen, man, if you are short and you're not paying attention to how big that float of shorts is, you're doing it wrong.
It was heavily short, and so everybody puked, and it's done. It's done now. Like this, I will come out and say we have put in a freaking all-time high on Avis budget, because this thing just went 3x today. Like literally.
Let's ask a question.
I've been saying
too hot to handle for you, or would you sell anywhere back up at like 440 and just?
Well, I sold the opening hour because it's just dumb. and I sold options again. We got up to $550. As you can see, I was selling starting at 740. I always wait for an hour, but wait to see how high these things shoot. And basically this is where it topped right there at that time. So the time is always important on this type of trade. And then they just collapsed. I mean, they were so fat. I mean, I was selling like 650s for, I don't know, more money than they should have. Again, if people want to pay that to chase this stuff after it's gone up 3x,
and to be clear, fairly far out of the money from where it was trading. Far
out of the money, $100 was, from the top. So yeah, it's strange, but I don't, now it's a trading vehicle. I mean, what else are you going to do? But I mean, you look at this weekly chart and you're like, that makes sense. Okay. Remember in 2021 when Avis was trading at $548 a share? No.
Upside down world, Matt.
But even right here on the weekly, you've got a RSI of 95. I mean, I can't. What else you got? What else? If you were long this stock and you have not sold or you didn't sell, what is wrong with you?
That's a poignant question, Matthew. Matt, I saw today, and I know you've posted some Tesla trades at marketvitals.io. Again, playing the dark side. But I saw today Tesla 2x worth twice as much as Berkshire Hathaway. Say what you want about Warren Buffett, but a pretty good longtime investor in the market. And even now, Elon is sort of stepping. I don't know. He's made some tweets and inform me about his tweets that you saw that you thought were talking.
Well, basically, he called out the United Nations Yahoo yesterday, who was saying if because that person said, hey, if Elon Musk would just give us $6 billion, we would solve world hunger. And Musk tweeted right back, show me how you're going to use that money to
not solve. Only that, show me an accurate, verifiable paper trail on all the money.
Which again, I'm good for him. Like, I will write that check all day. He said, if you can show me how you're going to solve it and show me where all the money goes. And then you and I were talking about it. It actually makes a lot of sense. Like, go ahead, use Bitcoin, use one of these, networks where every transaction is transparent and not hidden. And let's make sure that money is not going into, the fat cats and the foundation's pockets that are supposedly solving all these problems, because there's no reason.
I don't know where I saw it, but I know I've seen that they think, 50 to 80% of the relief money that goes to various places to solve various problems just ends up in people's pockets.
Yeah.
And the blockchain could solve that,
Yeah.
Matt, speaking of scientists, because I remember the guy did say, this isn't rocket science, right? To solve world hunger. This isn't Falcon X or heavy, whatever the fuck he said, almost insulting Elon so let's stick with that, Matt. Let's stick with rocket scientists, because this was out yesterday from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and the vaccine mandates out of Pasadena news conference from rocket scientists. Having a thought, an original thought that maybe there needs to be some pushback here on the vaccine mandate, posing serious questions about the whole lineage of this, especially since Biden's supposedly going to wake up from his nap and reissue modified mandates. And it's not him and Hunter going to the movie. It's a real mandate. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up. I don't really care to go anywhere other than that to say, listen, you don't have to believe me, and you could call me an idiot. I am an idiot. I got no problem with that. I'm a Western Michigan University Bronco, Matt. You're a astute University of Michigan graduate. Us lowly Broncos, we have opinions that don't seem to matter. But
I am not a rocket.
NASA scientists have a problem. So
I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm a common sense scientist, and in my science, none of it makes a lot of sense. And to that point, if you are an American Airlines shareholder and have watched the last 4 days of cancellation of 2,500 flights, why are you not calling for your CEO's head? Because it's absolutely insane that you have
and
people that want to fly and are paying more than they should right now in this market, considering the risk that you have in trying to travel. So for me to buy a flight for $500, it's whatever, kind of a median price right now for a shit flight to stay on the same time zone. Why the heck aren't you making these flights happen? There's no weather situations going on in Dallas. It's freaking fall. Give me a break.
No.
We all know what's going on. And if this is the guy that's running your company into the ground, it's already, I mean, it's astounding to me. And again, it should be unacceptable for all these funds and whatnot that are, that own American Airlines. Again, how do you become a millionaire in airlines? Start with $1 billion. It's the same old story. And now it's even worse because these guys are subsidized by the government to play ball and do the thing that they want to do.
All right, Matt, listen, I want to do a little price.
Let me just bring up a chart real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Fine. You go first.
Here's the weekly chart on American. And again, you can see like it got a lifeline from the COVID bottom when it was trading $9, but it's sitting here at 1968. Good year, by the way, 1968. And there's nothing. I mean, why would you want to own this stock? Why would you want to own it? Well, the dividend is nothing. They don't make money, Bob. So good luck with that.
You'd actually have to make money to pay a dividend.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I'm glad you brought up the weekly because not only is it's Tuesday of the new week, but it's also a new month, and we love to show the monthly fractal. And particularly, I want to show it in Ether and Bitcoin from a standard deviation modeling. Congratulations, by the way, to John Bollinger, one of my idols. I think he went to 400,000 followers now. Anyway, congratulations, John. But that outer band now on the monthly, 80,742 available from a standard deviation modeling point of view. And keep in mind this month, 55,601 is that monthly up momentum level. We spent a long time in that mo on this run from all the way back down here where it first went in around 10,000, all the way to the highs. We've been sideways since that, man. We've covered this over the past several days, how sideways this action has been. Mm-hmm. But for me, especially on this monthly fractal, this looks like it wants to break out clean and go run to that 80,000, 81,000 level. And again, these things, the chart evolves, so the standard deviation modeling evolves also. And if we
but you're not suggesting people hold on down to, go back to that real quick. You're not suggesting, the bottom band of 30,000. You're saying
no. I'm saying
you're just saying as long as 55,006 holds, that's the case. Yes,
exactly. And you know what I love to do? I love to look at a monthly chart and tell myself that's a 5-minute chart. What would I do if that was a 5-minute chart?
No, I get it.
Because the fractal analysis should be consistent, right? Yeah. If this is a 5-minute chart, I'm buying this all day, both hands. And I don't want to see 55.6 fold, right? Because if this truly has strong up momentum, it should respect that level, especially first time down.
I'm curious, what does oil show you today?
Hold on, let me get to that. And I will get to that. We do this here. And this is Ether US dollar from Bitstamp price discovery. And this one room out now to 5,736. It's really been riding this up momentum level. Fuck, that was hard to get out. Very nice ride of the Mo in Ether. Very obedient, respected it pretty much the whole way here. A couple of months back here where they penetrated it but couldn't close back out of up momentum. And again, if this is a 5-minute chart, I don't see why this doesn't go test that upper band, 5,736. And Matt has asked for crude. And here's
just because we haven't looked at these monthlies in a while, and it's always a good, I especially the first part of the month. I do a monthly, weekly, daily. I want to look at all the long-term charts, which are all pick an asset class. They're all bullish right now. So
absolutely,
I'm just curious.
Right, crude. We talked about this last week, right? The Putin Kramer bet. Vladimir Putin, the great crude trader that we know that he is, he thought crude easily could get to 100. Seems pretty easy for him to say that since he has his hand on the gas nozzle and can shut it. You can just shut her down. I don't know where Jim Cramer thinks he's wrong on this, but now on a standard deviation modeling, fully available, $95 this month. I saw a tweet somewhere, somebody saying they saw crude to be $120 by first quarter of next year. And when you look at the slope of this standard deviation modeling, completely not out of the realm of possibilities. All right.
Right.
That's what I'm seeing.
Again, as long as 71 holds, which
as long as 71 holds, and we've talked about that level for forever on the profile.
We have, yeah, it lines up. That's why I said. And then what are we seeing there in the long term on like the SPOOs or the NASDAQ? What's the
all right? Let's do it.
Outreach since we're coming into the end of the year, and Santa Claus has been rallying his butt off for the last 6 weeks already. So how much more has he got? Another 6 weeks?
All right, let me. How about this? We don't have enough in the micros. I got to bring up the.
Just bring in the continuous on the regular, the big.
Yeah. ES. Come on, isn't it just ES1?
You had it. You just had to. There it is. Just bring it down. Yeah.
Monthly. Let me get rid of this moving average cross so it's cleaner. Monthly fully available 51.21.50 is the upper band. Momentum all the way down at 44.48. Write it down, folks.
The last time we hit that band was right into the March of 20. That's interesting. The last time it hit the high.
Yeah. How about it?
That's interesting.
Right here. And I guarantee you in real time, it never touched the band. Since it traded lower, that band comes down. That's why it's important to put these numbers here. Case in point, right now, November. If this thing goes batshit crazy, right, and we trade 51.21, when we get to 51.21, that band's going to be 5,300 easy, right? So it's important to write it down the first of the month to see where's the band, because what happens is it goes trades 51.21. You don't sell it because I got room to 5,300, right? Then it craps out, and just like this one back here, post, right?
Well, for it to be trading 51.21, you're going to need 500, all 500 stocks doing what Avis did today. They tripled overnight.
We're not saying this is out of the realm of possibilities,
Just
by
saying.
the way.
That's what's going to have to happen.
All I'm telling you is if it gets there, you better be selling 51.21s and not waiting for wherever the band shifts to in real time.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you. All right. And Nazi.
It's good to know these. And again, I always tell people you have to have a top-down analysis, even if you don't trade the monthly charts. You need to know who's in control on every time frame. Like I know that
I got to tell the dogs to shut up for a second. I'm going to mute me.
Okay.
Oh, back to the show. NASDAQ.
Hey, I can read your lips.
I
can read your lips. I'm reporting you to the Humane Society.
15,147 up Mo on the monthly. And let's just do the Dow for giggles.
17.5. Wow.
What is the Dow? I traded
YM.
You come at me like that, Matt. I know. Interesting here. The Dow has gone sideways for so long that upper band is actually rounding.
Yeah.
39,590 momentum, 35,177 monthly.
And what about our micro caps? What are they doing?
And the Russell.
It's a good exercise for people to see this because it is the first of the month and we can see how it finished and what the upside.
Russell 21.
That is not the Russell. You've got something else. Sorry.
I got RSI index. Oh, that's the RSI. Sorry, I blew up.
It's RTY.
RTY.
Thank you.
So I blew up. Russell, even more of a rounding on that upper band.
Again,
and we talked about this a lot.
Look at that, because we've been talking about it all year, how the Russell has not made a new high. It still has not made the high that it made in February, March, whenever it made the high. It's close. It definitely took out the last 3 months highs, but it has not taken out the year highs. Still.
So Russell 26.39 on that upside, and it's just right on these highs is right with this momentum level, 23.24. I believe that's the level, 23.
Which is still 300 full points above where we are. So it's crazy to think. But, and again, this is long-term modeling, but just look at how many big green bars, and there's nothing red. There's just nothing red since 2020, since. since
Only
COVID started.
three. Only three.
And they're barely red.
All right, Matt, that's what I got. Long-term, monthly. Listen, pay attention to the monthlies, man. Fractal out, fractal in. It's really important to frame your reference and to build your strategy.
Hey, did you see this? Meta. Did you see what they threw out there today?
I saw that Meta was being sued, that somebody had already trademarked Meta.
Well, they're coming out and they've already got your face and all your friends and everything into their database. So now they're erasing your foot.
They're saying we're
erasing it. So good. I'm so glad that they've changed their name and we can trust them fully now. So good.
Yeah, we're gonna erase it. Face crap. I always called it face crap. And I like one of the guys from Cardano was saying that we're going to take over that name Facebook.
Well, there's all kinds of rumors who's taking it over at this point, but we won't get.
All right, listen, I'm going to go kill these dogs. So if you want to save Rita or Frank, you better come up with something quick.
Come up with something quick. Well, listen, we talked about. What do you think Warren Buffett is thinking during these crazy times when there's,
my point is, what is Charlie Munger thinking? Other than I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. But that guy is pretty much the quintessential old curmudgeon. Did you see? I saw today. He designed a dorm. Did you see the story?
At Michigan. Yeah.
At Michigan, where 94 of the rooms don't have a window. What do you need to look outside for?
It's totally. I mean, it's a business deal for him. He got his name on it, and he gets the rent, I think, too.
Shut up. Sit down. You don't need
to
go
blue. Go blue, Charlie.
Outside is for daydreamers. All right. We want people with their nose in books.
I mean, what happened to the whole Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, partnerships that were out there? Buffett sure has gone dark.
Yeah, he's gone very quiet and
he's gone dark. He has gone dark during this COVID 2-year pandemic. I don't see much in the news on him anywhere, which is interesting. What's going on there? What do you think?
I have no idea, but what I do know, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so Amazon has not recovered from its sell-off the other day. It's actually made a close. It kind of tested that low that it put in last Friday on the sell-off, but it's not going up. It's not going down. So again, we haven't broke 32.75. Nothing's really happening there. Google actually broke down a little yesterday. Today it's back up. It's just going back and forth. But again, it took off and still up near 3,000 a share. Again, I think it got over 2 trillion market cap. It's sitting at 193 right now. Still no dividend to be paid. And I don't know, dude. It's just we haven't talked about SHIB. What happened to SHIB?
SHIB is just dangling. It hasn't.
Well, but it was 8. It's come off 25%. Let's not call it a dangle for.
Well, in the crypto world, that's a dangler.
Well, okay. But everybody, when everybody was buying,
I want to point out too. Let me show two, since we're talking monthlies. Let me show two that we have discussed before. And this is Beyond Meat on the monthly, and it's a terrible chart. Lower momentum on the monthly 112, standard deviation modeling on the monthly now down to 72, and it just looks terrible.
Tough chart to use though, because it's so little time when you go to a monthly. I mean, you're only looking.
No, I'm just talking about the general trajectory. All right,
yeah.
Because I want to, and they haven't been there before.
And for me,
Peloton,
anywhere under 132 on Beyond, you got to remain bearish. So,
and this is Peloton, our favorite incumbent bicycle.
Yeah,
all
parabolas have a right side,
and that's what I guess I'm trying to expose to you is they have not had a right side in their history, and they're fully on the right side now. And it's real easy. I mean, they can need to close the month out of 95 above 95.70, and I would be not nearly as bearish. And Beyond, it's got to get back above 112. You got 130, but that's just a terrible chart on the monthly basis. And
Well,
this
what
thing
it
really
is,
never had a right side or a left side of the parabola. I mean, it had I don't know.
Yeah.
That chart looks like shit though, and you're not going to talk me out of that.
yeah, and the sell was there when it broke 130 and it went down to 90, and now you got to just sell the rallies. But the bears are in
Here's our
control.
favorite jab company.
Still riding high.
Still riding high. That monthly momentum level, 338 this month. The close below 338 this month might paint the tape a little bit different. I mean, I got to tell you too, that chart does not look great to me either.
Bring
those
up,
two, we call them hammer dojis, back-to-back months.
right.
And so there's all that volume is trapped long. I don't know.
How about UPST?
I had it here somewhere, didn't I?
It's right there, right above MRNA.
Oh, yeah. How about it? Not enough price discovery, Matt, for me to get the bands going. Get the band back together. Well, we got to tour a few more months, and then we'll get the bands out.
We still got it. Well, because you haven't had a year. It hasn't been trading a year. That's probably why they haven't done it. But if you do a week or a weekly, you probably
Here we are on the weekly, and I don't know what's going on with this lower band there. I think TradingView has a glitch in their mathematics because it should mirror this line, and it's not. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going on. Yeah, sell this one too, Matt.
I think so too.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we got. Market Vitals, please share the broadcast. Please retweet it. Please copy and paste everywhere. Join us at marketvitals.io. Thank you, Matt.
Shiba's off 25%. I was just looking at that chart. Why don't you bring that up on like a hourly for us, just so we can see that one? I'm curious.
Hold on.
Give us a shorter term, long term, like a midterm, like a 60-minute.
Yeah. Shib. This fucking dog is going to get killed here.
Thankfully, we can't hear him, so it's just driving you crazy.
Oh. Now let's go to the weekly first on Shiba, because it's important here. What's developing, a developing story, Matt. And we've talked about this lots. I love if this thing got a ridiculous reboot here and you double top into that collar. I like that. I like that trade setup. And if we fractal in, here's the daily now, not really respecting this momentum level. So too, a couple of chinks in the armor. They really need to get back on the Shiba dog sled and get people back reinvigorated.
The Shiba dog pile.
Yeah, I mean, this just looks like it wants to roll over. We talk about a coast to coast a lot. And for me, the coast to coast is one momentum level to the next. So 07 is where that momentum is right now. And the low momentum 4035. There's no reason why it can't, and probably wouldn't go back there. Since we're talking about psilocybin again, I'm going to suggest. That's a joke that's got legs. That's a joke that got legs.
I'm going to suggest again that if you didn't take profits at 38, it's now at 44. It's now at 44. And just remember when we were suggesting the buy down here at 29, this was just 3 weeks ago. It was $29, $28. Now it's up to 44. And now you're starting to get into, territory where it has not been in a long time, but it is congested up in here. So I would say, it's not going to just, although in this market, things just rip for whatever reason. Like it's not an easy market to understand. That's for sure. But by all means, you have a 60% move here already in 3 weeks. Don't be a pig. Just don't be a pig. And I would
get slaughtered.
I'm always early. Again, that's why you sell a little bit. You sell a quarter, sell a half, sell another quarter. And then if it wants to keep going, great. If it breaks, you've already taken 75% of it off, right? And this will break at some point, but not today. So just like to throw that out there once again, that it's going through the roof. It's interesting. I'm really curious, again, what's going to happen with retail as we turn the calendar, because I just don't see, again, some of these retail companies, we've talked about it before. I don't see them, having a back-to-back
Oh,
Back
by
to
the
back.
way, on that, where's our friend Dillard?
Dillard's, I think they're up another 14. So their earnings were also, I think, just yesterday. And again, that's what we're waiting for here. Hang on one second. No, the earnings were last week, so we already had the earnings. No, that's not right. They're coming up. They're coming up, Bob. They still have not happened. They're like November 12th, I think, is when they're having them.
Right on.
So I would wait on that thing until the earnings come out. Just by the way the rest of this market's trading, you want to stay out of the fray. And a lot of these things, there's no point in selling them until after the earnings come out. Like it'll either be higher, most likely, or a little lower, and then you're out of the fray, kind of, so to speak. Kind of like what happened with car. You don't want to sell these upriding trends into earnings in this current market. You just don't want to do that.
Right on.
It's just not worth your while.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much.